Okay, hello everybody. How are you? Great to be here. And today is Tuesday, the very 1st of July. So welcome to a new month. Hope everyone's having a good time. I certainly am. Still recovering from the weekend's antics. Jane, bless her, has been at work all day and she's now just relaxing there in the background. It got back about half an hour or so ago. Still reliving a fantastic weekend. And that's kind of what inspired me to have the topic of value doesn't have a price for today, which we're going to talk about in a moment. Before that, let's look at our OES then. No new updates there. As always, guys, please try and log in on a daily basis. That's where the information is going to be. Obviously, if we hear anything, we will obviously relay it through social media for you. But that's where the information is going to be. Also, a couple of shout outs. I know that Gina Lever's feeling under the weather today as well. She thinks she's eaten something that doesn't agree with her. Also, Chris wasn't very well yesterday. Same reason, actually. So our thoughts. So you guys, hope you have a speedy recovery. What else did I want to talk to? Thank you to Jane for yesterday's Monday Fun Day. Great to see her back again after her little break from the week before. But yes, we've had a great time away in Glastonbury. It really is refreshing, I think, is the right word, to step away from things to a whole new environment, I suppose, to not only metaphorically let your hair down, but also to get involved physically, emotionally, mentally with something that is completely different from what you normally do. It really has been something very special for us in our lives, something that we will certainly cherish, remember for a very, very long time. And I am so glad that we made the effort not only to register for Glastonbury, but also to get the tickets and to go and all the rest of it that goes with it. So this brings me on to value doesn't have a price. Now, I don't mind sharing with you that each ticket that we had for Glastonbury cost us £395. So if you're looking at that in US dollars, probably closing in on $600 per ticket, which is a lot of money. So we're already in £800 into it, and then obviously accommodation for the camper van, £260, and then food, drink, and entertaining, etc. So it really ends up being a lump of money, I suppose, for a 4.5 day event. Just what's interested me was one of the things that Jane and I kept saying when we were at Glastonbury was how much value for money it was. Now, it's something that we use on a regular basis. We say it about all sorts of things, don't we? That was great value. That really was value for money. This is something that we use in a everyday environment when we spend our money on something, whether it's a food, whether it's for entertainment, whether it's for holidays, whether it's for hire cars, whether it's for anything. You often hear people saying that was good value for money. Now, I thought that even though we spent a lot of money for Glastonbury, I thought it was very good value for money. And it goes to show that people are prepared to pay any amount of money, really, if they think they're going to get value for what they are paying, which is an interesting scenario. Okay. Having value from something doesn't have a price tag. People will say, I know people who have spent, in fact, I did, where probably the best meal I have ever had out was at Raymond Blanc's à Manoir Saison. down in Oxfordshire a couple of years ago for my 60th, actually. My sister sorted it out for me. And that will set you back. How much was it, Jane? For Le Memoir? It was £1,000 for two of us. Okay, so it's £500 each for a meal, a 12 course taster menu with pairing wines was 500 quid. So £1,000 just for one meal. I came away from there thinking it was great value because it was exceptional. It was more than I expected. It was not just the meal, the gardens, the place, the service, the atmosphere, how we were treated, the food, all of it combined. I walked away there from that restaurant thinking I'd had good value for money. So the price that you pay is immaterial to that person thinking they have value for money. It could be 10 quid. It could be a fiver. It could be 50 quid. It could be £100. It really doesn't matter as long as the person who has spent the money then in return feels they've had value for money. This brings me nicely on to our company, what we are going to have in the future with our digital products and services, and about the price point that we are going to have for our products. And here's the thing, that price, whatever it may be, and we don't know, we can guess, has zero effect to the value of what the customer is going to receive. If you think of it like this, when you spend money but you receive value, the cost is immaterial to the value that you receive. But it can go the other way as well. You can end up spending a lot of money for something that just wasn't worth the value, that just wasn't worth it. You hear that, don't you, all the time? It cost me a lot of money and really it wasn't worth it. People say about holidays, people say it about cars they buy, people say it about meals they've had, for instance, or places they've visited, or whatever it may be. They say it wasn't worth the money. But they also say what great value I've had for what I've spent. And 9 times out of 10, the amount they have spent is normally a large amount of money rather than a small amount of money for them to say they've had good value for money from what they have spent. It's very interesting. And when we do see the price tag of the products and services that we are having in our next phase, don't be put off by that price tag. Why am I saying this? Because there's going to be so much value within what people are going to buy that the price tag actually is immaterial to the value that that person is going to receive. Now, I did look up on my Google AI about value does not have a price. And this is what it says about it, which was very interesting. And it says the statement value does not have a price emphasizes that the perceived worth of something goes beyond its monetary costs. While price is a specific number, value is subjective assessment based on individual needs, benefits, and satisfaction. For example, a customer might choose a more expensive product for its perceived superior quality or emotional connection, even if a cheaper alternative exists. Now, that's very interesting, isn't it? A lot of people would rather spend more money on something that there is a similar version of because they know they're going to get better value from spending more money with that one company for that product. Interesting, isn't it? This is why people, when they buy cars, for instance, tend to go towards certain brands of cars and spend more money on those brands of cars, because they feel they get better value for the money they are spending from that brand, even though it might be cost more to them than another brand or model of car. Obviously, there is a perceived abundance to a lot of cars, but in general, people tend to navigate towards cars that are going to give them more for their money, i.e. better value, more things that go along with it. The same as where people shop in different supermarkets. People shop on all sorts of different supermarkets. Why? Because their individual experience, they feel they are getting better value for their money by shopping in those shops. Some people, for instance, here in the UK, love to shop at Marks and Spencer's. It's high end, but the quality of what you're buying is exceptionally good. And so you are getting, in fact, more value for your money of what you are buying because you're getting better quality. All of these things that I'm bringing out to you now are part and parcel of how we perceive a price tag. And this is why I think that having the understanding of people and value of what we have is going to help an awful lot moving forward. The price is immaterial to the value that they receive. That is the important equation to the price tag. So how do you do that? Well, plain and simply, you bring something to the market that is head and shoulders above anything else at a price point that is acceptable to the majority of people. If you do that, then people are going to come to you to buy your products because of the value that you are giving them. Price tag can be the same as others. The price tag can actually be more than others. But if you are getting the value because of having more to that product, more bells, whistles, technology, usage, user experience, all the rest of it, then it is not going to be difficult to be able to sell those products and services. Also, Google went on to say how to break down the concept of value doesn't have a price tag. It says that price, the monetary amount a buyer pays for a product or service, doesn't necessarily influence that person to buy it or not. The value and that perceived benefits, the satisfaction and worth a buyer gains from the product and service is more important than the price tag. So selling on value is a sales approach that focuses on highlighting the benefits and advantages of a product or service over the price tag. Rather than solely emphasizing the cost, we should all focus on the value of what that product is going to give the customer. This is a huge, huge lesson to learn. So when we do get going, okay, the one thing I am not going to mention, I'm not going to promote, it's not going to be part of my marketing or anything like that, is the price of the product. The price is whatever the price is going to be. That is not what people are going to buy the product because of. If you remember, we had this conversation. I see John Bareilles here. John, can you do me a favor at some point at your leisure? Can you give me on Messenger, please, your email address? Okay, thank you. If you remember a while back when the founding position was still open with on passive. And our CEO was saying that one thing that he wishes that he hadn't done was to price it at $97, because he always thought that it was too cheap for the value that we were receiving. And there is a lot of that involved with pricing, that sometimes you can actually be too cheap for the value that you are giving, and people actually don't believe what you are saying, because the two don't really marry up. This is why we should always focus on the value part of what we are trying to achieve, rather than the pricing of what it costs to buy or to be part of. So here's some examples. Luxury goods, high-priced luxury items, they often hold their value for buyers due to the prestige, the craftsmanship, or emotional connection. Even if similar items are available at lower price, people would rather buy a higher priced item that has the right craftsmanship name to it and prestige than the other ones. Why? Because of the value that they are getting for that item. Unique experiences, like traveling or attending a concert, might be valued for their memories and personal growth, even if the monetary cost is significant. That's exactly what happened to me. I paid a lot of money to go to Glastonbury, but the value of what I gained from it way exceeded the price tag that I paid. And I've come away thinking, well, actually, the £400 price tag for a ticket was such good value. Investments is also part of the value equation. Investors may see the long-term value of a company as an asset, even if the current price is high, based on its potential for future growth and returns. Obviously, that is an area that you have to be well versed in to be able to take advantage of those sort of things. Environmental goods. Their value, such as clean air and water, is often difficult to qualify in monetary terms, but it is a preservation that is crucial to all of us. Now, if we can educate people to that value of water and clean air, again, this helps in the value of things that don't have a monetary basis to it. So value is very subjective, and it varies from person to person. Of course, what I think is good value, somebody else may not. And this is the beauty about value, is that one size doesn't fit all. Price is just an aspect of value, and other factors like quality, reliability, emotional attachment, and personal needs play a significant part in what value is. And businesses can also enhance their value proposition by understanding their customers' needs, and also demonstrate how their products or services meet those needs of the customer. This is certainly an area that I think our business will focus on. Getting the word out there through the company of the value of the products and services that they are going to bring to the table. This is going to be my focus. This is going to be the thing that I'm going to certainly utilize moving forward when I am marketing my business to the general public, is the value of the product and what it can do for a customer and the things that it's bringing to the table. Anyway, guys, that's it from me for today. Happy Canada Independence Day, by the way, before I forget. I hope you are celebrating in style over there. Definitely something to think about as far as your business is concerned, of what areas you're going to focus on as far as your marketing campaigns are concerned. We've talked at length as how to do it. Tomorrow, I'll bring something else to the table that will help you in your business moving forward. That's it from me, guys. You have a great day wherever you are. Bye for now.